So this is Josh and Jen. Say hello.
Hi.
We are here at La Ronde in beautiful Montreal, Quebec, Canada. We have ventured over to the land of the French and the Poutine to check out the only Canadian Six Flags park and all that it has to offer. We will be doing some on-ride footage later on from Goliath as well as Le Monstre, which is getting some murmurs and it might be a little bit of a Rocky Mountain treatment. And as well, we are here to check out this terrifying attraction, which is Maison Rouge. It's their new for 2015 haunted house that's all themed to clowns, and I'm terrified of clowns, so this is going to be fun. We probably won't be allowed any kind of cameras in there, but I will definitely go through and give you guys a review of that. So stay tuned, enjoy this video, and yeah, enjoy. So one cool thing about La Ronde is its location. It's basically surrounded by highways way in the distance there, and bridges all like that. So if you're driving by the highway, you get some awesome kind of aerial views of the park. As well, today, there's sad news, is their boomerang is closed. So, wah, wah, no boomerang credit, but I think I can live without that. Oh well. So we are now walking around La Ronde here in Montreal, Quebec. We are inside the park, and we will take you around, show you some of the cool shops and rides and attractions. And we've got our handy flash passes. And right off the bat, you've got a pizza here, which is Jen loves pizza, and she's a huge pizza enthusiast as well. And that's kind of Canada's like #1 pizza joint. I guess it's like a Domino's or Little Caesars, but Canadian. So there's that. And see, what else can we show you? Actually, now that we're in a different province, Ontario, my understanding is you can actually walk around with your alcohol here, which you cannot do at Canada's Wonderland, just as a comparison. And there are a ton of poutine places here. So if anyone likes cheese, curds, fries, and gravy, this is your place. It's amazing. How's poutine, Jen?
It's delicious.
Right. You guys should have it down there, right?
Definitely.
And you're getting it. Disney has it, a few other places have it, but you can't get authentic poutine until you come here to, well, Montreal is really the home of it, Quebec itself. So we are heading to, I don't know where we're going. Let's go look at the sign. I don't know where we're going. Yeah, is that way? Le Vampyre is this way. We're going to Le Vampyre, which is a B&M invert Batman clone, and one of the more intense ones. We have the Muzu. Those are like frozen drinks, like slushy, not slushy, smoothies. And what else we got? We do have a slingshot, and it is called Slingshot. Whereas other rides like this, we have a Star Flyer here called Vol Ultimate, which I will probably ride for sure later on. There is this really awesome Viva sponsored train. Again, being that this is a Six Flags park, you will see lots of sponsorships around. We will take that train ride later to show you a full train POV. We have Orbite, yeah, we'll go with Orbite. No, there's no accent, so it's Orbite, which is an S&S space shot from the looks of it. We have what looks like a break dance over here. I know I'm probably going to get yelled at if that's the wrong type of name, but it looks like a break dance to me, and it's called Disco Round. So that's kind of cool. And here's a closer shot of the very unique slingshot. This is more like a fair version than something that you've seen recently being installed at Cedar Fair. So there's that slingshot. 2 persons per capsule, 60 meters high, 95 kilometers an hour, and you guys can Google what that actually means in whatever speed and height is in your area. You can see Vampyre here in the distance, and we are going to head on to Le Vampyre and enjoy some awesome B&M inverted goodness. So we'll be back after that. We just got off of Le Vampyre, and I will still say that this is easily the most intense Batman clone out there. I don't know what they do to it, but it is insane and awesome. And I would never want to ride that thing backwards because that would suck. We're gonna go on to some crazy flat rides now and go from there. So keep on watching. Back behind one of the Vampyre's turnarounds and next to this what looks like a slightly abandoned stadium, and we just got off of, what is this one called? Cobra. We just got off of Cobra, which is an Intamin stand-up, and I will say that that was sadly very uncomfortable and kind of anticlimactic at the end. It just meanders to the brake run. And what was really weird is the ride-op seemed to be upset with us for coming through his gate, as he didn't have his chain and 2 garbage cans blocking the turnstiles, which was a little bit weird. So you can see the old school trains going around. I mean, if you've never ridden one of these, I don't think there's many left. I think here in Carowin. So yeah, that was Cobra. So we will move on to the next ride, which is probably going to be Vol Ultimate, which is the Star Flyer up there. It is lunchtime, and no, it's not beer 30. Here in Montreal, it's Poutine 30. Jen, how's that poutine? Yay! How is it?
Good.
It's good?
Yep.
Awesome. We're gonna eat some poutine and fill ourselves with french fries and cheese curds, because that's what you do here. We are here now at one of the food sections at La Ronde. I do not know what this area is called, but it's kind of got like an old... Fort Edmonton is what this area is called. Thank you, Jen. It's got like a Western vibe to it. Over there is where we ate, called Fine Poutine Plus, which was really, really good poutine. And over here you've got some muzu, and you've got, that says a lot of words that a lot of people probably can't read, but really in short, it's Beaver Tails. You got a popcorn stand, and down there you've got some crepes and some curry. There's some really interesting food at this park. So if you ever want to be adventurous, and of course there's a Subway, because that's not adventurous. Over there is the lineup for Le Poutine? It's a log flume. I can't pronounce a lot of these words. What we're going to do is we're going to walk over here really quick, because I can see an awesome view of an SLC. So it's an awesome view. Yes, it's an SLC over water, so that ultimately makes it the best SLC ever.
Which isn't saying much.
Yep, that is true. And also, though not over water, their SNS space shot is on a little floating barge on the water. Like, you actually have to walk off a little pier there. But there is Endor doing its thing, doing some headbanging. You've got a Ferris wheel over there. You've got a space spiral thing that is shut down, unfortunately. And I don't know what happens here. I believe this is where they set off their fireworks from. They have a couple major fireworks festivals throughout the year, and that's usually a big deal out here, actually. I believe this is where you can stand to view it from. And in there, I can hear arcade games, so there's an arcade there as well. So we're gonna keep moving on. So right here, we have an old school kind of wild mouse called Toboggan. As you can see, it's doing its thing. I believe each car is themed to a different country, so that is the Jamaican bobsled car going right now. This is the Aqua Zone. As you can see, not just for children. Bienvenue à l'Aqua Zone is what that says. It says, welcome to the Aqua Zone. And over here, I gotta be careful where I stand, but this is one of those aqua twists. And you can see the chutes in the back there. So yeah, so this is one of those new aqua twist rides, which was built, I think it was last year, he said? No, this was 2 years ago. Essentially, it's kind of like a scrambler and a splash battle. You can see they've got the guns out here that you can fire at. I'm going to stand back a little bit because I really don't know how far their guns go. And the last thing I want to do is ruin the camera. But I do want to show it to you guys. And I've never actually seen it operate yet either. Oh! That's really cool. Alright, I'm going to stand back a little bit. But you guys can see there. So they do their thing. It goes really slow. I wonder if it speeds up. It's really wet from behind too. Oh, what's that thing? There's just water all around this area, so if you don't really want any stuff damaged, you don't come through here, basically. So that is the aqua twist. This looks insane. It kind of reminds me of the splash battle at Dollywood, only in circles. And I just got wet. Alright, enough of this. Bye-bye. So we are over here by Super Manage, which is a Vekoma corkscrew that has some of the most uncomfortable seats if you look at it there. Very, very uncomfortable. Very kind of almost dull ride experience. And no shade in the station. But I guess a classic if you like that. But it gives you really good views of the monsters turn around, which I think we're heading back to ride again. And when we're done all this, we're going to take this awesome looking train monorail thing around and give you guys a full tour of anything that we might have missed earlier on in one full shot. So stay tuned for that. So we have made it to the new attraction here for 2015, Maison Rouge, which is a very creepy clown maze. What they've done is there's two sides to it. There's creepy or spooky. Apparently creepy has more action on the ground. I don't know what that means, but that's the version we're doing. Apparently it's a scarier one. Now, keeping in mind that Jen has never been through a haunted house before, so this is going to be her first haunted house. Jen, how do you feel about your first haunted house?
Pretty scared.
Yeah? Also, so you guys know, I'm terrified of clowns. Even though I embrace it, I'm terrified of clowns. So this is gonna suck. But we'll report back afterwards, provided we survive.
Josh is gonna buy me a porn star if I go in, so.
Yes, I'm going to buy her a porn star. And if she does it, I will show you guys her porn star that I buy for her. So stay tuned, we'll see what happens. So we have just finished Maison Rouge. And it was pretty cool. Not the scariest house I've been in for sure, but it's still really creepy and I still hate clowns. And Jen survived, as you can see. She survived, so she will be bought a porn star. And again, we will show you what that means. So we are moving on to, we're gonna go back and ride Goliath and some other coasters and we'll show you around tomorrow. Just outside of the exit of Endor, which you can see the sign for there, is a coaster called Dragon, which is an indoor, I don't think it's fully powered, but there's some powered segments. Have you ever been on, what's it called, Thunder Run at Canada's Wonderland? It's kind of similar to that. It's got a bunch of dragons inside. There's one part where you get eaten by a dragon and pooped out by a dragon, which is kind of cool. But it's just like a little family kind of coaster inside this giant, amazingly themed building. So that's that, and that's the sign for Endor, which is the SLC that we were just talking about. And then some really cool. This area is very secluded. You got a pizza place, there's a subway over here, lots of trees and shade and stuff like that. We're gonna start heading back towards the front of the park. We're gonna jump on that train ride, monorail thing we showed you earlier. And we're gonna do a tour around the park and I will show you everything there is about La Ronde that I know of and that we can see from the train. So hopefully you guys enjoy that as a comprehensive tour. We are here at Rolopan, which is the crepe place. They have a lot of dessert crepes. So one of the cool things they have is actual meal crepes. So you can have like a chicken burger crepe or a barbecue pork rib, or since we're in Montreal, you can get a smoked meat crepe, which looks delicious. Or ham and cheese, or ham, egg, and cheese, which kind of looks a little gross, but each to their own. So earlier, Jen was promised a porn star if she went through the house, and she did.
And I got it.
She survived, and the porn star, if anybody was curious, is blue curacao, vodka, and sourpuss, and some Sprite, and it looks delicious. And I got a beer with grenadine, and then this giant ass order of really greasy potato chips. That looks pretty good. So first it was Poutine 30, now it is booze 30. See ya. It's about 4:55 in the afternoon now. Something weird is going on here at La Ronde. Every single ride, everything, from kiddie ride to Ferris wheel to SLC to Goliath to flat ride, everything is shut down. As far as we can tell, there's no power outage because all of the arcade games back here are operational. But every single ride here has shut down. Nothing is operating. The tower ride here is down. The train ride that we're about to go on to seems to probably be down as well. We don't know what's going on. This is very weird. We'll report back if anything happens. Provided we're still here and we're not down. In the meantime, dance break from In the Loop Live Jen. As we're here waiting for a beaver tail, we're noticing that the log flume has emptied its line. And everybody is here now buying food. So they're going to be racking up some money in some food sales, which is awesome, but I'm not quite sure what the hell is going on. Yes, mandatory dinner break here. I mean, I'm Canadian, but this is kind of even wacky for Canadians. So, as promised, we are about to entree the Fort Edmonton something mini rail and take a tour of La Ronde. We are now on the mini rail, taking a trip around La Ronde. Try to point out some stuff as we go along. We've had a pretty good day here so far. I think after this we're going to call it quits. Took us a 6-hour bus ride to get here last night from Toronto, in which we barely slept, and came straight to the park. So from a 6-hour bus ride, straight to the park. That's the good old days of roller coaster trips. But we're tired. We eaten Beaver Tails, we've eaten some Poutine, we've seen some slightly scary clowns, we've ridden an SLC over water, and we were eaten by a dragon.
And you bought me a porn star.
Oh, and I bought Jen a porn star. There's a lot of jokes that can be made about that, but I don't want to get a bad rating on this video. So over there you can see, actually right there you can see the kiddie coaster, which you cannot ride without a kid, unfortunately. In front of us you can see a random tunnel that we are currently in. I don't know what we are in. It looks like, oh, the arcade is down there. So this is kind of like the People Mover, only with less dinosaurs. Yes, we're busting out that old In a Loop joke again. And then there's Endor, the SLC. We'll get to see everything on this train tour, except for see everything.
So as a Canadian, what are crispy kernels?
What are crispy kernels?
Yeah.
Truthfully, I have no idea what crispy kernels are. I've never heard of them before. I'm going to assume that there's some sort of crispy corn snack. There is the Toboggan Nordique, which is the wild mouse. There is the spinning flat water ride thingy. We're back over here. There's that kiddie coaster I was telling you about earlier, which is pretty cool. Nice, decent little theming there for a kiddie coaster with a nice little drop. Looks like fun. Kind of wish we could do it. There goes Le Splash. There's a lot of rides here with very basic generic names. There's a full-serve McDonald's here, of course with theme park pricing to boot. $25 to feed the entire family full of McDonald's. There's a boomerang that's not open. Some kiddie rides to which we did not go into, which is fine. We have a kiddie train or car ride over here that has a tunnel. That looks kind of cool. There is Monitou back there, which is a swinging flat ride deal. Here is Le Splash. Here's that wonderful Vekoma corkscrew of Doom, which reminds me out of Final Destination. There's a shark. Le Splash. Like I said, the names here are awesome. There is that ride again, the Mega Menage. There is the one of the stars of the park, Le Monster. Didn't do any of the water rides today. Oh, you can see Le Monster going, which is a really, really, really surprisingly fun ride.
In the front.
In the front. So a good ride in the front, bad ride in the back. Unless you like it rough in the back, which we all know coaster enthusiasts do. One of my favorite coaster signs I've seen is a sign for Le Monster. Pretty cool. Reminds me of Where the Wild Things Are. We got some funky looking air inflated hover bumper car things. There is Le Monster. Of course, it's Canada, so we have a hockey game. Now, one thing we did not get a chance to ride, and that's simply because I really did not feel like getting soaked today, is their new ride for last year called Demon, which is very similar to our Cliffhanger Canada's Wonderland, which is this crazy, crazy flat ride here. It's just ending right now, but you can see the water dripping off the bottom, and the lineup, you get soaked while waiting in line. Here's the Demon Arcade. Here is the First Aid Center, which was kind of creepy walking into earlier, by accident, sort of. There's more of Le Monster, which is not a cloned, it's not like a, what's that called? Well, yeah, it's racing, but it's not cloned, it's not mirrored, that's the word. So there are two completely different tracks, so for anybody who has any concerns about 2 credits, that would count as 2 credits. And I've counted it as 2 credits. And that's that. And if you have a problem with that, that's your problem. So now we're going into what looks like the employee parking and a marina. In case you are not aware, La Ronde is located on an island here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. You have to either take a bridge across, or we took the metro, the subway, and that takes you underwater. I don't know if we're coming up to a station that we can get off at. No, we are not. We're just turning and going up a hill. Slowly. Very slowly. Now, La Ronde typically gets a really bad press for operations and everything, but I gotta say, like, aside from a couple hiccups, this was probably one of the better times I've actually ever spent here at La Ronde. Ride operations were pretty decent, and aside from Boomerang and a random moment where every single ride was closed without any notice for 30 minutes, which seemed like a union break, it was a relatively smooth day. Now here in the distance you see the B&M Junior Hyper. I believe it's about 175 or 180 feet, somewhere around that. We're going to be getting corrections on that momentarily as Jen goes up onto RCDB. But you can see the entire layout there. It goes back into the parking lot, the overflow parking lot. And it is definitely a fun ride. Kind of comparable in terms of airtime to something like Goliath at over Georgia, Six Flags over Georgia. 174 feet, so I was off by 1 foot. There is the queue line down there for Goliath. And we are going to go directly under the lift hill. As I'm taking pictures of videos. There we go. And there is the layout to Goliath, which is very, very cool, and some more employee parking from the looks of it. Over there you have Tour de Ville, which is their swings. And I believe we have passed. What is going on here? Hopefully we do not have to get off. Oh, there's some stuff back here for their Halloween event, from the looks of it. Or potentially just other gates coming to the park. Hopefully we don't have to get off here because I really don't want to. So we are off again on the next leg of this wonderful mini train ride. We're going to be on the back end of the park now, coming up around where there's not too many attractions, but we'll film what we can. Like the back of this building, which is Dragon, which was an indoor coaster. Very weird. As I mentioned earlier, we were eaten by a dragon. There's a queue line down there. You can see people waiting patiently. And as we turn around, you might even be able to see the vehicles. I don't know. No? Oh, yeah, they're in the station, but you can't see them. But that is Dragon. It was kind of a cool dark ride, and there's another train here that's sitting there doing nothing. There is the Sky Coaster, which I hadn't seen anybody do, or Catapult. Oh, as I say that, people are doing it. Which is right over water. You can see the SLC over water again, Endor. And behind this tree here, you can see a Ferris wheel going. Never did go on it, but looks like it would offer up some great views of the park. We are now going back again. This half of the train ride probably will not be as exciting, as it's mostly just parking lot. So you can see the Ferris wheel there. Now this is, I believe, where they do a lot of their fireworks from, for their firework competitions and stuff like that. If I'm wrong, just comment down below, because I know you will. But yeah, you know, all in all, it's a really great park. There are some interesting rumors coming out soon. We were with the PR person earlier on, Jules, who was awesome, and thank you again, Jules, for all your help today. And they're going to be making an announcement on September 3rd. And I have a feeling, and I'm dreaming, that it has something to do with Le Monster. That might be a year or two away, so we'll see. You can see the SNS space shot there. You can see the rainbow-colored slingshot, the go-karts. And we are coming up to Le Vampyre, which was easily the most intense B&M clone, Batman clone I've ever been on. I've ridden a good chunk of the Batman clones, and I would say this is probably the most intense, and probably the best ride in the park, actually. Very impressed by this. So if you like that extreme G-force that these rides have to offer, this would definitely be one you cannot miss. You'll see it there briefly. Sadly, no trains are going right now, but and as I mentioned when we first got into this park, it's situated on an island, and it's a very neat, unique location. You can see this bridge here. It has a very big feel and vibe of New York City, in my opinion, which is kind of cool. These giant sprawling bridges going across. And we are turning a little bit here. And we are going to be going underneath the zero-G roll of Le Vampyre. Over there is Cobra, which was the Intamin stand-up coaster, which was quite the interesting ride. Nothing really to write home about. There goes the space shot. And there is the station for Le Vampyre with trains empty in the station. There is the Starflyer there. the standard Batman ride cube type of deal. Even though it's not called Batman, it still has that Gotham City vibe. Really good day at the park. I had a great time. Very much enjoyed all of the flat rides we did. Maison Rouge was very interesting. It's good to see a house try to do, or a park rather, try to do a permanent Halloween, like haunted house type of deal. There's some flat rides there, the breakdance. So I love that. I want anything that involves a year-round haunt. And then we're doing selfies as we're on the train ride.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes selfies. So if you want to see what I'm doing, that's what we're doing as we're riding this awesome train ride. Here is, I can't remember the name of it, but their log flume, which looks kind of awesome, very old school.
Probably just the log flume.
Yeah, it's probably Le Log Flume, or Le Flume du Logs. And yeah, it looks very blue, very wet, very cold, and very refreshing. So, I believe that concludes our train ride. So we'll do one last checkup at the front of the park before we head out. So we are just at the front of the park now, getting ready to head out. You can see the antique carousel there in the distance, and you can see kids running around the fountain, which they probably should not be doing, but you know, parents don't care. Anyways, so we've had an awesome day here at Six Flags La Ronde, and once again, thank you very much to Jules from PR here at La Ronde for helping us out in the morning. If you guys want to check out, we have some POV footage that should be going up soon, so there'll probably be links or annotations or cards or something like that on this video. So for myself and Jen,
Hi.
thank you very much for watching our video, and keep on our channel for more videos throughout the season. Haunt time is kicking up into gear, so there'll be a lot of haunt updates and stuff. Plus we'll have videos coming up soon from the Canadian National Exhibition as well, covering everything that's going on there. So expect a tour video of that soon too. Until then, have a great day and see you on the Midway.